Himalaya is the greatest mountain chain in the world. It is the majestic Himalayas abode of snow house. It stretches over some 3,500 km and covers about 1 million square kilometer of the surface area between Afghanistan and South China. Approximately 800 km of the Himalayas is in Nepal, including 8 of the world's 14 highest peaks, with the Mount Everest 8,848 meters being the highest in the world. Over 1,300 peaks of the Nepal Himalayas are over 6,000 meters high. This magnificent range of mountains overlooking the deep valleys, sprawling pastures, and bustling Sherpa villages is the highlight of mountain tourism in Nepal. Hiking Nepal's Annapurna Circuit is one of the most stunningly beautiful, life-changing experience you can have on your travels. And we are pretty sure that, like us, you will be absolutely captivated by the area from the very first day. On day one, we will take a drive from Kathmandu to Beshisahar. It is about 7 hour drive. The route will go along Kathmandu Pokhara highway to Dumre. That will further follow the narrow and paved road by Masangdi river and reach Beshisahar. You will get to see snow-capped mountains like Annapurna and Machapuchre and beautiful landscapes from there. You will get a chance to experience the lifestyle, culture and traditional of locals living in the Beshisahar as well. We had started our journey next day morning by catching jeep from Beshisahar. We wanted to go all the way up to Manang on the jeep. Not being lazy, but we didn't have enough time to hike all the way up to Manang. But some people prefer hiking from Beshisahar. If you decided to hike from Beshisahar, then on the first day of hike you can reach up to Bahundara, which is at the elevation of 1310 meters along the bank of Masangdi river. Gradually you will trek steeply toward Bahundara, which will be 2 hour walk. You will get to enjoy beautiful views of snow-covered peaks and the daily life of people of the Gurung community. And it will be about 7 hours in duration. From Bahundara, the trail descends down. You will trek across the beautiful terraces and streams. Now you will rejoin the Masangdi river. You will continue trekking past some waterfalls and cultivated lands. On the way, you will cross various suspension bridges over the Masangdi river. Bahundara is a village development community in Lamjung district in Gandaki zone of northern central Nepal. At the time of 1991 Nepal census, it had population of 2,114 people, living in 433 individual households. The second day of hike will be from Bahundara to Chamse, which is at 1430 meters in altitude. After having warm breakfast, you will begin your trek towards Chamse. The trail heads downwards to Sangje, which is at 1100 meters, and after that, you will cross a thrilling suspension bridge over the Masangdi river and go along the same river to reach Jagat. From Jagat, you will climb up and reach Chamse. The duration of this hike will be 8 hours. Annapurna Trail has so many waterfalls and water streams along your path. Hence, it is no surprise you will encounter so many waterfalls along trekking route. This waterfall you seeing is the Chamse waterfall. On the third day of hike, you will be trekking from Chamse to Bagachap, which is at 2160 meters in altitude. You will begin your trek following the rocky trail along the Masangdi river and then slowly climb uphill to Taal at 1700 meters. Taal is the first village in Manang district From here, you will ascend and descend several times to reach Dharapani, which is at 1860 meters. You will reach Bagachab, where you will get to see flat roof stone houses designed by local Tibetans, with fields of maize and apple orchards. The duration of this hike will be around 7 hours. The day 4th of hike starts from Bagachab to Chame. After having your morning meal and coffee, you will start trekking from Bagachab. You will trek towards Chame, which is the headquarters of Manang. The trail is easy to walk and you will hike through forest and reach Koto. From here, you will continue walking towards Chame, where you will observe the culture and tradition of people who moved from Tibet a long time ago. On the day 5 of hike, you will be trekking from Chame to Pisang, which is at 3100 meters in altitude. You will continue your trek through the deep forest in a narrow and steep valley. You will then cross two bridges, one at 2910 meters and another at 3040 meters. You can view beautiful snow-capped lamjung Himal, which is at 6983 meters, and other mountains. Further, you will follow the trail to climb Pisang, and after some rest, you can visit the monastery and get a beautiful view of Annapurna Circuit, which is at 7,937 meters. The 6th day of hike, you will be trekking from Pisang to Manang, which is at 3,540 meters in altitude. From here, you will begin your climb on the steep rise that will present you with the gorgeous views of Manang Valley and Tilicho Peak, which is at 7,134 meters. Descending through Manang's airstrip at Humde, which is at 3,280 meters, you will witness the northeast face of Annapurna 3, which is at 7,555 meters. Further walking, you will lead to the beautiful view of Annapurna 4, which is at 7,525 meters. From here, you will cross a wooden bridge over Masangdi Khola. After a short steep climb, you will reach Manang and stay overnight at a lodge. The drive is simply terrible. It's a real challenging road and a true test of your vehicle and your stamina, because the road abounds in twists and turns, with wheels sometimes hanging above the precipice. The surface of the road is gravel, but recently the walking trail has been widened for 4x4 vehicle with some concrete sections. The combination of steep uphill rocky terrain and the lack of oxygen is dangerous for engine. The road is 95.8 km long. The road is very narrow and steep. The drive starts from Beshisahar, a municipality in Lamjung district. Winding through some of the world's tallest mountains and diverse climate zones, from tropical to freezing alpine peaks. Intensive days spent on your feet and enjoying the beautiful hospitality of Nepalese people and their quaint mountain villages. The many days you will spend on the Annapurna Circuit trail are some of the most inspiring and challenging you will ever encounter, and arriving back to Kathmandu will feel so rewarding. On the day 7, it will be a rest day for you to get adaptation with the increase in altitude. Manang is a large village for a very isolated place. You will spend your whole day exploring the village and interacting with locals. Observe lifestyle, ancient culture and tradition of the local residing in this area. You can also visit the Gangapuna Lake, which is incredibly beautiful. Then you can return back to and stay overnight at a guest house.
Good, 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 good. Hush, Lucky.
Gangapuna is a glacier lake situated on the foothills of Gangapuna Peak. It is one of the touristic attractions of Manang, which offers a magnificent view of Annapurna mountain range for the travelers following Annapurna Circuit. It is becoming shallower as sediments and particulates glide into the lake in flowing waters at an alarming pace. The glacier lake, situated at the height of 3,540 meters, is formed from the glaciers from the Mount Gangapuna, which is 7,454 meters, Annapurna 4, which is 7,525 meters, and a Khangsar Kang and Glacier Dome. On the 8th day, you will be trekking from Manang village to Khangsar village, which is at 3,734 meters in altitude and is about 6 hours walk. You will continue your trek and follow the path down to the river. You will cross Khangsar Khola via a bridge. Then you will ascend the slope to Khangsar village. It is typical Tibetan style village, which is also known as the last village of Nepal, and you will stay overnight at a guest house. Manang to Tilicho Lake distance is about 20 kilometers. It is 2 days subsidiary trip of world famous Annapurna Circuit. On the 9th day, after having breakfast, you will be trekking Khangsar to Tilicho Base Camp, which is at 4,150 meters in altitude and is about 4 hours walk. You will begin your trek and pass a gompa and follow a route that is recently constructed trail up towards a high ridge. The small villages itself offers only few accommodation options, otherwise it is a group of few stone buildings with flat roofs. And there were significantly fewer people in comparison with the main trail, so we could enjoy a peaceful atmosphere. We spent the rest of the day in a bed drinking tea, planning next day, and idealing. The trail to Tilicho Lake is well marked and zigzags the landslide area.
Haha, good, 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 good.
Next day morning, we walked from Khangsar to Tilicho Lake Base Camp. So we started our ascent early in the morning. We passed by another settlement called Sri Kharka. It is 4,045 meters in altitude, and right behind it the way splits into three. The path in the middle is the shortest but also the most dangerous one as it intersects steep rubble slopes. The upper trail is way too long and is challenging, and the lower path is unmarked. We took the middle route, which is also used by most hikers and locals. The sky was clear, so we could see Tilicho Peak and the Phra Idam ahead of us. One of the most significant peaks along the trail is Khangsar Kang, also known as the Rock Noir Black Rock. Its wall is so steep that neither snow or ice can stick in it, and it creates the black field on its top. The ridge going north from the Khangsar Kang leads to Annapurna Forest, the highest mountain in Annapurna range, and between Khangsar and Tilicho Peak spreads impenetrable Great Barrier. The trail led us further to a bridge. Then we had to ascend another hill, and from this point, we could see the long, narrow path traversing through the steep Derby slopes. The pathway can be very slippery, so mind your step and do not forget to watch for loose falling rocks. It takes about 30 to 40 minutes to pass these scratch slopes, but it seemed much longer, and we were glad once we left this passage safely behind us. Tilicho Lake Base Camp is not far from here, and you can find 3 lodges there. We stayed in a first one because there is not much of the difference between them. There was a hot shower thanks to solar panel on the roof, paid Wi-Fi connection in the restaurant, and charging station for a fee. From the base camp to the Tilicho Lake, it takes another 3 to 4 hours. Tilicho Lake is cold, barren place in the afternoon and claimed as the highest lake of the world. After we spend some time around the Tilicho Lake, we will return same way back to the base camp, as there are no any accommodation facility at the Tilicho Lake area. It was a month of November, and it was pretty good weather to climb up to here. There was no snow falling or not much wind going around, so pretty clear sky, and we were enjoying our hike all the way up to here. Until the 1974, the route to Tilicho Pass and Base Camp was almost closed for climbing and expeditions. It needs 3 to 4 days extra to get this popular lake. Since there is a tea house in the Tilicho Base Camp and Tilicho Lake, nowadays camping is not required. Tilicho Lake was the site of one of the highest ever altitude scuba dives. A Russian diving team consisting of Andrei Andreessen, Denis Pakin, and Maxim Kresko conducted a scuba dive in the lake in 2000. It took us about 5 hours to climb this steep hill. It's pretty windy and I will say very cold and a little bit dusty as well. Tilicho Lake is situated at an altitude of 4,919 meters in the Annapurna range of Himalayas and is sometimes called the highest lake for its size in the world. Even though there are lakes at higher altitude in Nepal and larger, higher lakes in Tibet, another source suggests the altitude of Lake Tilicho is being 4,949 meters. According to Nepali Department of Hydrology and Meteorology 2003, no aquatic flora and fauna has been recorded in the lake.
Haha, gur 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 gur.
So far the day is fantastic and we are able to see all the surrounding mountains capped in a snow and this shine with the sun. It's just incredible view from here. The lake is partially frozen though, but in winter season the lake will be solid frozen. Tilicho Lake, which is at about 4,920 meter altitude, is known for being one of the highest lake in the world and is located in Manang district of Nepal in Annapurna region. Among the trekking route in the Annapurna region, Tilicho Lake Trek has been growing as a popular destination for nature lovers. Tilicho Lake Trek unquestionably provides some of the world's amazing and thrilling views. The great variability of culture and diversity, finest deep gorges and high peaks adjoining the massive Annapurna mountains. Tilicho Lake Trek begins from Beshisahar, although some people start from Chame or Manang and goes along the Masangdi River, with the amazing views of Manaslu at 8,156 meter and Himchuli 7,893 meter to the east. For the lovers of Mother Nature, it is a wonderful opportunity to be amid the pristine hill, barren and green, snowy mountain, rock settlements and challenging paths that lead to tranquil Tilicho Lake. This is the sacred place according to Hindu religion. Hindus believe that Tilicho Lake is the ancient Kag Bhusundi lake mentioned in the epic Ramayana. The sage Kag Bhusundi is believed to have first told the happenings of Ramayana to Garud, king of birds, near this lake. The sage took the form of crow while telling the story to Garud. Crow translates to Kag in Sanskrit, hence the name Kag Bhusundi for the sage. The mountains surrounding this beautiful lake are Khangsar, Muktinath Peak, Nilgiri and Tilicho. The starting point of Masangdi River is just down from the Tilicho Lake. The river which we were following for last several days, all the way from Beshisahar. Obviously the river will get adds up along the path with other creeks and watery streams and glacier, but the main origin is from here. As you can see, the water in the lake is so pristine, so clear that it acts like a mirror. You can see big block of ice around the corner. The lake is formed from the surrounding mountains. As I told you before, during the winter season, this lake will get completely covered in ice. The water is so cold that you will dare to touch it even in this season.
Gur 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 gur. Whoosh. Lucky.
It was amazing hike to get up to here. I was so amazed seeing these 360-degree surrounding mountains, pristine Tilicho Lake, and the landscape that I never seen before anywhere. Our main plan was to hike through Thorongla Pass, which is the world's highest trekking pass in the world, after this Tilicho Lake hike. But that didn't happen because one of our friends got sick and we were not able to take him with us during the hike. And we were not also able to leave him alone to get reached up to the home. Hence, we had to get returned. And we promised that we will get back to on this trail in future. And of course, I will make it happen. This is moderate kind of hiking, hence most of the people can make it up to here. And it will be best to travel up to here in the shoulder season. Now we'll be getting back to downhill. Probably we'll stay in Khangsar or Manang today, and we'll get further down from tomorrow to make our way to home. I suggest if you love snow mountains, alpine lakes, and beautiful landscapes and culture, everything that Nepal has to offer, you can obviously come and enjoy all this beauty. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like this video, please subscribe, share and like, and I will see you on the next one. Thank you.